Every anime watcher is happy about finding and experiencing a show that is simply fun to watch, for whatever reason there might be. But I think most of us can agree that it feels even better to find that one show that sticks around. One that had a positive impact on you. One that you made an emotional connection with. One that during the day randomly invades your brain and makes you think, man, this really was that good. Frieren is an anime that hit me directly with all 3 shots. Not bullseye, but full on triple 20. And don't worry, I'm not going to talk about whether it is justified for it to be the current number 1 on my anime list, or how surprising it is which of the characters gets molested over online. I just wanna talk about how this anime managed to receive all that praise, why it is being loved by so many people, and overall, what it is that makes it stand out so much. Because let's be honest, at first glance, Frieren just looks like a normal everyday fantasy anime, and I wouldn't say we are really in dire need for more of those. But what anime fans needed is a well-structured and believable fantasy world that just feels different from all these copy-paste 6 out of 10 isekai we are being bombarded with for years now. The world the story of Frieren takes place in isn't particularly deep. You got your humans, elves, monsters, demons, and magic. But the way it is presented, although simple, just feels right. Nostalgic even. Like a place you'd imagine going on an adventure back when you were a child, just more fleshed out. The anime regularly reminds you of the continent scale, so that you never forget that the characters are on a big journey. And in synergy with a phenomenal, moody soundtrack and beautifully drawn backgrounds, this whole place comes to life as a simplistic yet wonderful classic fantasy world, ready to be filled with a story and themes that first will grab your attention and then refuse to release that grip until the very last scene. Frieren's most prominent topics are the passing of time, especially the value and importance of past as well as present relationships, how it looks when someone detaches themselves from everyone and everything that surrounds them, and how to either prevent or figuring out how to live with the feeling of regret. That makes Frieren herself not only a somewhat relatable character for many watchers, but also brings, due to her extended elven lifespan, a concept on the table that simply sounds interesting. And although emotional growth is this anime's biggest driving force, it knows when to take a small breather and therefore never overextends into one direction, making it a very approachable show for basically everyone by keeping a healthy balance between its themes. This also directly leads to the overall pacing of Frieren, which is absolutely great for this kind of episodic storytelling with its huge focus on the characters, their relationships, as well as their backgrounds. And the characters in this show are without a doubt its strongest asset. Not even once did any of them feel out of place or too forced. Especially the relationship between Frieren and Himmel is one that sticks out because of the way their past interactions get woven into the narrative without feeling like just a plot device. Frieren's fond memories of Himmel and the hero party are playing a huge role in her character building, and the moments those flashbacks are shown never feel pushed into a scene to just provide context, but rather particularly placed to put even more emphasis on Frieren's emotional development. Frieren and Stark bring a dynamic on the table that isn't only used for a slight romantic side plot and the occasional comic relief. Both of them synergize well with Frieren as well as with each other, and to stay in theme, they also bring their own little quirks, inner conflicts and moments of growth with them. And even many of the characters we only get to see for a short amount of time are adding something important to the world and story. Sign, who with a little push from Frieren started traveling with the party for a while, leaves you wondering if they'll meet again once he finished walking his own path. Flamme, who was teaching Frieren how simply beautiful magic can be, a lesson she will teach her own disciple hundreds of years later. Haita, who not only was a great foster dad to Frieren, but also an important friend to Frieren that gave her the last push she needed to start her second journey. Aizen, Stark's mentor, who carries huge respect for his hardworking apprentice, but is lacking the ability to tell him directly. And many other characters who not only make the world of Frieren feel alive and breathing, but also strengthen the theme of relationships that even if sometimes fleeting, can and will leave a huge mark on a person. Frieren's anime adaptation is the result of passion, hard work, and good direction. Its faithfulness to the manga is appreciated, and whenever it diverges, it is in order to elevate certain moments, not changing them. Nothing feels too much or too less, and finding as well as applying this level of balance is something that everyone who worked on this adaptation deserves nothing but appreciation and respect for. This show manages to at times feel goofy and wholesome, then bittersweet and magical, and at other moments raw and purely epic, all while keeping some of the highest levels of atmosphere I've ever seen in almost any fantasy anime. Again, respect to Studio Madhouse, the voice actors, Evan Call, and all the other people who put their A-game into this show and ended up making it a truly exceptional experience. Following the party traveling around this magical world while exploring the dynamics between them, seeing them slowly overcoming their obstacles and watching everyone little by little growing as a person has been an absolute blast and made a lot of these episodes feel like time just passed in the blink of an eye. But at this point, maybe even that was intentional. Frieren is the perfect example of it's not about the goal, but the journey. For Frieren, it is a journey about finding herself and closing the emotional distance to those important to her. For Farron and Stark, it is a journey about growing up and stepping into the footsteps of the people they look up to, as well as understanding each other. And for us, it is a journey through a wondrous and engaging fantasy world that we will continue talking about for years coming. The world building, and I can't stress this enough, absolutely incredible soundtrack, engaging and charming characters, and its perfectly balanced themes that manage to speak to me in more ways than just entertainment make it hard for me to find any real flaws, which of course doesn't mean that there aren't any. But a high fantasy anime this well crafted that doesn't feel niche, lacking, or too demanding is something that we probably won't see again all too soon. And the only thing that's left for me to say is Frieren deserves all its praise. It fits special to a lot of anime as well as non-anime fans and is exactly what the fantasy genre needed. Also, I'm pretty sure one of the animators at Madhouse has a foot fetish. And with that, hey guys, thank you so much for watching. How do you think about the Frieren anime? Solid, a masterpiece, or highly overrated? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of my stuff in the future, hit the bell so that YouTube thinks I'm a cool dude, and have yourself a wonderful day. As always, I will see you in the next video, and until then, peace.